TNT. Salvation full and free. Salvation is for everybody. Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM.
This year, B-Mobile coming bigger to make your season brighter. So much giveaways to offer. Move with green and be a winner. Win groceries and cash. Home tech makeovers. Free service for a year and a brand new car. Go wish it, just win it. Win with B-Mobile. Thousands in prizes. Win with B-Mobile. Wish it, just win it. Win with B-Mobile. Plenty giveaways to win. Win with B-Mobile.
Top up, buy a prepaid plan, switch, sign up, pay your bill, take a bundle to win over 1 million in prizes. Don't wish it, win it with B-Mobile.
The Street 919 FM is bringing the Christmas spirit right into your homes, vehicles, and on your mobile phones like never before. Hey, Christmas time with the best Soca Parang mix. Yes, join this exciting segment, Parang Soca Fever, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 9:45 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 6:45 p.m. until Christmas.
This is Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Right here on your favorite Christmas station, The Street 919 FM.
This is Christmas, as we dream of Christmas.
Sponsored by Shandy and Royal Cast. Our culture, our taste.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to listen to the live Temple of Restoration, Pastor Curlan and the team. The Temple of Restoration is located at number 12 Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, opposite the Curep taxi stand. For more information, contact 488-4413 or 777-8691. The Temple of Restoration, where Jesus changes lives.
Dashing through the shows with the Direct TV remote. What fun it is to choose to pay to win cool giveaways. Oh, Home Alone, Pinocchio, Bad Santa, and the Grinch. Frozen 2, Elvis, Scrooge, and Edward Scissorhands.
You'll be dashing through the shows this season with DirecTV Prepaid. Get free installation when you purchase a prepaid kit and receive $99 free credit when you activate and top up 30 days. Plus a chance to win a 55-inch smart TV or home entertainment system. DirecTV Prepaid has it all this season.
Ikaro, I am Alatumishe Ifabamishe Aganki, better known as MC Duke, and every Monday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I host a show called Orisha, The Way of Life, right here on the Sheet 919 FM, where I have guests passing through from the Orisha Ifa Baptist Diaspora to educate, edify, and inform you, the listening public, about Orisha Ifa practices. So remember to tune in every Monday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. for Orisha, The Way of Life.
Pastor Hannah A. Parbu of Holy Spirit Ministries will be live on the Street 919 FM every first and third Wednesday from 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. In the scripture, Matthew 19 verse 26, the Bible says, "But Jesus looked at them and said to them, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Pastor Hannah is here to motivate you, challenge you, encourage you to walk in your purpose and destiny God has for you. For prayer and counseling, call Pastor Hannah at 728-5197.
He heals me when I'm broken.
Heals me when I'm broken.
His strength where I've been weak. Forever he'll reign.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q, Auto Parts Division?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488?
Yes, Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I could buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arabita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel highway in Tobago. You could call 60 Tools.
Alright, thanks boss. Nah man. Ronnie,
you have $488 to lend, man?
Clarity. It's what we want for our vision. Whether we're working in the office, during our nighttime commute, or watching our TV. Reduce reflections and glare with Supernova anti-reflective coatings by Value Optical. The advanced technology in your new eyeglasses will reduce eye strain, help the world see you better, and enhance the way you see the world. Value Optical. Expert care for your eyes.
This is Bishop Aaron Williams from the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries, inviting you to be part of our broadcast on any given Thursday night from 12 midnight right on to 5 a.m. on Friday morning. And this broadcast is called Early Morning Gospel Market Program. Then we have on Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. the Holy Ghost Gospel Pharmacy. If you are sick and ailing, you can get from this particular pharmacy, from the pharmacist, the good things of life. Hallelujah. And any Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, break into the house of the Philistines. Hallelujah. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, hearing the babel of false doctrines that you encounter daily, it's about time you get close to God, God's word, direct from his throne room, in the name of Jesus.
God has good plans for his people. Why do you worry so much?
This year, Christmas is we own, them Grinches can't tell me nothing. This year, Christmas is we own, Grinches will have nothing to share.
100 grand they passing round, knock a bottle and join in the song. 50 grand for goods and groceries. Free service with monthly and weekly. Like Shaq start to shake the app. My DG sell we shaking that. Prime bundles is all we buying. Digital plus, yeah we sing yeah. This year, Christmas is we own. Yes, it's only half easy. This year, Christmas is we own. Digital and don't give sharing.
Celebrate Christmas your way with
All the monies raised in Tobago now under the current arrangement that Tobago exists is about $200 billion. Remember that, right? But as part of the nation of Trinidad and Tobago, $200 million comes towards you from you. The salaries alone paid to the people of Tobago in the Tobago House of Assembly is $700 million. Goods and services is another $580 million. Subsidies and transfers is another $650 million. And of course you have development programs, $260 million. And URP, which is make work help you out because you can't find a job and so on. That's another $25 million. When you add up all of that, as what you get as a result of being an integral part of the nation, as compared to your 200 million, you see right away that you are better off being an integral part of the treasury of Trinidad and Tobago. And that's not all you know. Various government ministries spend money to service Tobago. That's another $788 million. The operation of the sea bridge, it's another $600 million. And of course, the cost of those two ferries, $1.2 billion. We're spending $1 billion building you a modern terminal building at the airport to be able to handle international traffic. All the monies raised in Tobago now under the current arrangement that Tobago exists is about $200 billion. Remember that, right? So, I just mentioned those numbers so you can understand these people who are talking about secession and independence. What exactly are they offering you?
Take no chance. Protect your future. On December 6th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Tune into the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. For the program, God's Last Warning Message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood." Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the street 919 FM.
The journey's almost home. We are them is stronger. We blessed by the Father, protected the stand, Lord. Your grace is so sweet. This is a new chapter. She going to write history. She have the right energy. Just stop, you know what I can with future. Be on the money way. 6th of December. Ready for victory. Body's here, we here, this body's here, we born here. I tell you, we done 50 side. We ready to ride.
December 6th, take no chance. Protect your future. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Well, a pleasant good morning to each and everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Titans of Democracy right here on the Street 919 FM. Let me thank the Heavenly Father for bringing me here safe, sound, and all together in one piece. Pleasant good morning going out to my entire family. Good morning to the lovely Miss Sharon Felix, Mr. Dominic Remain, and the entire family. Good morning to you, all our callers, all our listeners, to all of our viewers online. For those of you that are locked on via whatever mechanism that you are, know that it's always good to have you guys on the inside with us. Yes. And let me say pleasant good morning also going on to the management and staff of the Street 919 FM. Good morning to Mr. Iwer George and his entire family. Let me say good morning to Tobago. Hope you guys are locked on. As you know, we continue our interviews from today going forward. A bit of a late start as we have a lot of bills to pay. Yes, and we always welcome that. So, what I will do right now is I'm going to get into our dailies for today, Tuesday, the 23rd of November, 2021. And as we get into the Express, headlines on the Express: third COVID wave hits TNT, comments at Integrity Commission, flood of complaints against chairman for abusive behavior, commission, change management, never an easy process. So, let's get in on the inside and see what's going on. Comments at Integrity Commission. A plethora of letters of complaint have been written to several public authorities about the chairman of the Integrity Commission, Rajendra Ramlogan, particularly his, hold on, get in quickly. Right. Particularly his manner of dealing with staff. Okay. Guess you don't know how to speak to people. Third COVID wave hits TNT. Trinidad and Tobago is now in the grips of its third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, with the battle continuing against the super infectious Delta variant. Court told to hear appeal on open-air cremations. A legal victory was achieved yesterday with the Court of Appeal ruling that the ban on open-air prior cremations of COVID-19 victims must return to the High Court for urgent hearing. Okay. Dad disappears, car found burnt, family pleads for help to search. A search is now on for a missing father of two after his vehicle was found burnt in the heights of Aripo on Saturday night. UNC tells President, Senator Vieira must go. The opposition United National Congress, UNC, has written to the President calling for the appointment of independent Senator Anthony Vieira to be revoked. Venezuelan stabbed to death. A Venezuelan national was stabbed to death and his cousin wounded in a knife attack yesterday morning. Well, this would have been for Sunday morning. How did my uncle die? A relative of Beach resident Francis De Leon has said that there are many questions surrounding his disappearance and death. And these are the stories that are making way in the Express at this time. So head over to the Newsday. Arima Race Club president disappointed over slow yearling sale. Okay. Dial Singh. Nothing debars Abdul Richards from holding board position. Dial Singh, TNT in third wave of pandemic. Man crushed to death in freak accident in Speyside. 10 dead, 404 infected by COVID-19. Trinidad and Tobago flag flown upside down. Where is this though? Oh, what craziness I see now. Which one this is, right? Whitehall, Port of Spain. On Monday morning, photos and videos of the Trinidad and Tobago flag flying upside down at two public buildings surfaced on social media channels. One was at Whitehall, the Prime Minister's office, Queen's Park, West Port of Spain. The other was at Fraud Squad head office on the corner of Park and Richmond Streets, also in Port of Spain. The national flag was seen flying upside down beside a police flag the right way up. Well, I think the officers are the ones in charge of hoisting the flag and taking it down. So I guess we will hear something about that. Ruptured heritage pipeline investigally repaired. Shackled San Fernando Hospital ward manager. Staff burnt out, tired, frustrated. Reservations from some lawyers. Good support for moves to end PIs. Toyota launches new Raise SUV. Senate debates motion to censor UNC senators. Windies batsmen struggle as Sri Lanka spinners dominate final session. Augustine, I'll save Cordner from PNM. Trade Minister sat President. No impending food shortage in Trinidad and Tobago. Embarrassing concern about disrespect shown to industrial court ruling. Socially displaced man dies in accident. UNC writes to President for Vieira Senate appointment to be revoked. Policeman, Coast Guard officer shoot each other. Deaths of a woman. And these are the stories that are making way in the news day at this time. So as we head over to the Guardian, just before I do so, let me say good morning to Mr. Dominic Romain. Dominic?
Morning, sir. I'm barely hearing you.
Yeah, I realize that. You hear me better now?
Much better.
Yeah. I must always remember to check that that thing in the morning. Yeah, sometimes it is strange. So, yes, continuing in the Guardian. Headlines in the Guardian. TNT now in third wave. That's the headlines in the Guardian. So, let's see what's going on. Failing by design. There's a lot of turmoil and dislocation in the world at the moment. It is possible to push back on that statement by saying there is always something going on that causes us to be concerned. I would suggest that the difference this time is the number of people that are directly affected by the headlines compared to the issues that normally make the headlines. Okay? Kamala says Abdul Richards favored by government. Munilal, political figure, tried to get Duke's gun taken away. Minister, TNT in grips of third wave of COVID pandemic. No moves to disband sought, says Sergeant Alexander. Tobago teacher dies from COVID. We are burnt out, frustrated. Rio Claro West student tests positive for COVID. Ministry to consider TNT's COVID situation ahead of new school term. New Mount St. George Goodwood district split between PNM and PDP. PNM plans $60 million Scarborough waterfront revitalization project. Radio host in hot water for negative comments on PM. What is that? Who is that? Who is that? What station is that? The Office of the Prime Minister, through Director of Government Communications, Kirk Jean-Baptiste, yesterday requested the audio recording of a morning radio show on which the Prime Minister was disparaged. According to a media release on the issue, Jean-Baptiste confirmed that political activists turned talk. Okay, that should be talk show host Lennox Smith used derogatory references to describe the PM on 104.7. Righty then. Ah, boy. You don't want to say what you want about the big man. And feel it's just so.
I cannot tell you it was him even before you read.
Serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, they feel everything is everything. You can say what you want about the big man and get with it. Ah, boy. So, Minister Abdul Richards appointed to a HL above board. Appointment, sorry, right? Nice. Promoter calls on Prime Minister to ignore NCC talk of Carnival 2022. Which promoter is that, boy? Is it? Yes, Mr. Randy Glasgow. Dominic, I ain't seen that 2022 thing. I ain't seen that 2022 happening. No, I ain't really looking forward to that.
Was this Carnival?
Yeah, I'm looking. Not the way things going right now, na partner. I'm looking forward to that at all. Labor.
You let Gypsy here.
Yeah?
You let Gypsy here, you say?
Nah, let me see for what it is now, man. But anyway, let's move along, eh? Labor charged with assault against a child granted $250,000 bail. Minister Cox addresses staff concerns in Point Fortin office. And these are the stories that are making way in the Guardian, the Newsday, and the Express. Dominic, you got the information for today, right?
I got the what?
You got the information for today, right?
No, I didn't. Well, I probably did. I didn't check.
It came a bit late. Very late. And I think that, I'm not sure, but I think that is supposed to be for half an hour as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to get that information now to make sure that that's the time we're moving with. So guys, at this point, I turn it over to Mr. Dominic Romain. That was the news and headlines in the Guardian, the Express, and the Newsday this morning. So you can go out there, get the papers of your choice, and read up on some of these stories. So, Mr. Dominic, over to you, my friend.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. To all of the loyal listeners of the Street 919 FM. Good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Giuseppe. Good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Regis. Mother Chinapuna. Mano, morning, Angie. Almost forget Angie Sunday morning, you know. I was so flustered, Bruce, with all that internet bacchanal. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. Let me say good morning to Olga and Uma. I forget them this time, right? To Alison Samuel, morning to you as well. Yeah, I almost you almost had to do the show this morning for yourself, you know, Bruce.
What?
Yes. What? I got mixed up with the time. As you would notice, I have a different background this morning.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a different house in a different country. Oh. So I'm speaking to you from the sunshine state of Florida. Yes.
That your scene, brother. That is your scene, Dread. I vexed with you here this morning. Dominic, you were supposed to do something before you have to fly out, so you're not easy.
Don't worry yourself now, don't worry yourself that time. Thursday's Turkey Day here, so everywhere is closed, so there's nothing to do on Thursday. Right? So I'm more or less going to be inside. I think the only place that may be open is IHOP, but IHOP is not a place you want to go on weekends or on holidays because it's very difficult to get a cheaper there.
Uh-huh.
A day like today, you're good. Yeah. Ordinary days when people have to go to work and school and stuff, yeah, but weekends and holidays, it's terrible.
Pressure.
So I stay away from there on those days. So I think when I'm done here, I will head across there. Of course, we are 1 hour behind, so it's actually 5:30 here.
Uh-huh.
So, yes. So outside still dark. I only went to bed about 2.5 hours ago, thanks to American Airlines. I have to give American Airlines a big fat F this morning, Bruce. Because, first of all, when I booked my flight back in September, it was supposed to be 10:19. I was supposed to leave yesterday morning. And then they switched my flight to 4:19 yesterday afternoon. And then 4:19 changed to 4:50, 4:50 changed to 5:15, 5:15 changed to 6:15, 6:15 changed to 6:35. So we did not leave until about 7:15 last night. Yeah. And then of course when we get into Miami about 11 o'clock. So there were 6 flights came in at the same time. 2 of them from Brazil, 2 from Ecuador, Trinidad, and I can't remember where the other place was. So average about 200 people per flight. And you had 2 immigration officers to process all them people. But we complain about Trinidad and our airport, eh?
Wow.
2 immigration officers. Yeah.
Imagine people frustration.
If pressure. Yeah. And then of course, as if that wasn't bad enough, well, let me give them my experience yesterday. So after all those, delays. So I finally get upstairs to immigration to go through the checkpoint so they could check my bag and stuff so I could go and wait for the plane. So I go to the counter, I check in, I get my ticket, I find this girl taking real long. I see all this sort of thing, and normally when I come here in tutus, that's okay, well, probably it's the first time I'm traveling since COVID, whatever. So my ticket, going upstairs. So, you have to take out your shoes, your belt, and all them kind of chalala. Take out all them stuff. So all I do now, so I see one of the airport security officers, so he's telling the other one, there's that one there to check. So I look, and I know who you're talking to. Can't be talking about me. Okay. So then I done now the check and stuff. They're like, when you finish, you just go across by that desk over there. Said okay, so I go across now, and I put my bag. Well, first of all, I brought some Accra from my brother who lives here. And I went and buy him a cheap brand tamarind sauce. 2 bottles, No, they take it. Tell my car, I liquid. Can't carry that. Because I just come with my carry-on now because I'm not paying American Airlines $30 for an empty suitcase. So I go across, check my bag, they open it, they take out whatever, check. So the lady takes this thing and she swabs my bag and she sticks it in this machine and the machine beeps and the whole screen lights up pink. She does it a second time. She does it a third time. She says, so there's your bag? I said, yes, that's my bag. She said, you packed this bag for yourself? I said, yes, I packed this bag for myself. She said, but this bag out of your custody at any point in time? No, it wasn't. You lend this bag to anybody? No. Well, I'm swabbing the bag and I'm getting, it's turning up traces of cocaine. I said, cocaine? Really? Me? No, wrong one. Third, let me swab the inside of the bag. She swabs the inside of the bag. She takes the thing in the machine. No problems. She swabbed the outside again. Telling me about cocaine. Huh? Sorry, well, you had to wait. You had to go back and we had to run your bag through again. Okay, run it through. She said, well, sir, you had to hold on here because it's procedure because we check in. I said, okay. Waiting. So then I see 3 police officers show up. I see she talking to them and whatnot and stuff, and I'm like, well, okay. Clearly, all they want me to make me some money here today. Because I know I ain't got no drugs. Right. So the 3 officers, they come over and they stuff and they say, well, they security spoke to you and stuff. I said, well, she told me she swabbed my bag and it's coming up traces of drugs or whatever. I don't know about that. So they said, well, okay, well, we had to go in the back room, I escort you, and we had to do a proper search and question you. So, but where your flight delayed, so okay. So we go in the back. I know they asked me 1,010,000 questions. Yeah, we are working, all of that set up a canal thing. We're going vacation, we're going to Miami for all of that. So the police officer, the woman, the first thing she said, first thing, let me just come out and ask you, do you do any kind of narcotics? I said, I don't even drink alcohol. Far less for narcotics. Okay? So you alone pack your bag, same thing, same bucket. I say, yeah, I don't understand. So the male officer come, took out everything from my bag, check through whatever, went through my bag with all my food and whatnot. I say, well, you know. They just proceed. But they were very polite, I must say.
Yeah.
It was Officer Noel. I have their names up. Let me see. I wrote it down because I told them I was a talk show host on the radio tonight. So, you know, if it went awry, I would have had to put them up. So it's, yeah, Navarro, Waldrop, and Noel. That's each other. Yeah. So if they're listening, good morning. They were I must say, they were very professional and so on, but through the whole thing. And then, so I think it was Waldrop took out some kind of special wipe they have or something. He wipes on the whole bag. And he said, well, I ain't seen nothing here. No. He said, because if it had any trace or anything, this would have turned blue. And I mean no slight blue, dark blue.
Oh.
Does it again, I think? Yeah. He said, well, I know what it is. I said, well, maybe the airport authority need to service the machine. Yeah. So, yeah. But
because if they're sticking something inside of there, right?
Yeah.
If they're sticking something inside of there, at some point they must have to clean out inside of that. I mean, just saying.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Clearly, the airport authority have money and they probably wanted to pay out some. I would have gladly taken.
I know when I'm call your godfather, you know.
Yeah, I would have taken it.
Oh gosh.
Let me say good morning to Judy. Judy know why I'm saying good morning to her. All right. I need to go and find tamarind sauce. I hope Walmart have something there. So yeah.
But wait, that is the first time you bought that particular brand tamarind sauce?
Well, this is the first time I'm bringing it.
You ever tasted that particular one?
Yeah.
How you find the taste?
I like it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I never tasted that one. I tasted the I think it's either Mabel's or Matuks, one of those.
Probably Matuks. Matuks is very good. Yeah. So.
Yeah, father.
So forgive my my background there, right?
Nice. Background looking nice.
Yeah.
Well stocked background.
Yes. This is the souvenir cabinet. So the rule is anytime you're coming up, whoever, you must bring a bottle to add to this.
What?
Right? So, yeah. Yes.
Just so you had a piece on the side.
You know? You had to add a next wing.
Oh, gosh.
Interestingly enough, none of us drink, but anyway. Yeah, so that's just for sure. What?
Only good, yes.
So,
it has some visitors, they come there and they line by that whole night.
You know, one time one came and took the liberty of opening a bottle. I can't remember what it was, but it looked like a very special bottle, you know. So, of course, we had to make that disappear. I hope nobody noticed. Yeah. So.
Oh, good. I'm trying to see if I get the you still have WhatsApp on your phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you may.
Yeah, but with all these questions I see in here, this interview can't be happening.
Well, that is why I'm studying here now. Okay.
Well, I guess I will inquire into that. So I see, Bruce, that it's a real sad thing when the only thing the leader of the opposition could find to talk about at a Monday night forum is about the calling for the speaker to go because her husband is on a few boards, state boards, right? So they have this meme going around with this post on Facebook about the different boards that Newman George sits on and how much the board fee is to each of them. I think they have about 6 companies, right? I continue to say the hypocrisy of the UNC will never end. First of all, let me pull it up here because I see a friend of mine sent it to me, right? But I mean, I do understand they're only fighting down the PNM. This man always sending me stuff, Bruce, I fed up. And as soon as he sent it, I send a response with a newspaper article or something. And it's, oh gosh, boy, you're a real good boy. You're a real good boy. That's because of your stupidness. So the companies they have here is East Port of Spain Development Company, Paria Fuel Trading Company, Guaracara Refining, Trinidad Petroleum, Heritage Petroleum, and the HDC, right? Now here's the disingenuity in this. Trinidad Petroleum Holding Limited is now the successor company of Petrochem, right?
Right.
And under Trinidad Petroleum Holding Limited, which is the main board, the parent board, you have subsidiary companies and the subsidiary board. Right? So, which is Guaracara, which deals with the refinery, Heritage, which deals with exploration, production, and marketing, and then you have Paria, which deals with the importation of refined fuel and so on. Right? So they are subsidiary. So obviously, if the man is sitting on the main board, which is Trinidad Petroleum Holding Limited, it stands to reason that he would also be sitting on the other boards, because you can't have the subsidiary boards making decisions contrary to what the main board is making.
Right.
You can't run that. Right? So it is dishonest for them to list it like this, Paria and Guaracara and Trinidad Petroleum and Heritage, and make it seem like there's a whole set of different boards that the man sitting. By virtue of being on one, he serves on the others. But anyway, so there's that, and then there's the East Port of Spain Development Company and EHDC. So you can really say there's really three boards that the man sits on. If he's qualified to serve, what's the problem? Right? But they find that, he's nepotism and so on. So we want them to put Barry Badar and Mami, who formed a company in 2011 and got $16 million in contracts, beat out several companies that had years of experience for a variety of different contracts, right? In most cases, what her company and her son's company would have been much higher than what these established companies would have bid, and yet still they won the bids. That's who you want to give it to? Who you want to give it to? Khadija Amin's renter fiancé? The man who she pulled a stunt with and was supposed to get married to in 2013 when she went up against Shagona to contest Shagona's Eastern loss. They seem to forget that Wade Mark's wife was the chairman of TNTech when he was Speaker of the House, when she bought that infamous $27,000 vibrating chair. They forget that.
I was sitting in that chair now.
Yeah, you all didn't call for Wade Mark to go then. That wasn't nepotism when his wife was appointed chairman of the board of TNTech. There's nothing wrong with that. When Vassan Bharat, daddy, he get a big contract at 90 years old. $25,000 a month. That wasn't nepotism. When Stephen Cady, when Stephen Cady's got the company with which he was associated, got the contract to service the water taxis and got some $42 million in contracts to service the water taxis. That wasn't nepotism while he was Minister of Transport. You see, again, the hypocrisy of the UNC. Let's forget these things. I continue to say, Central, the UNC has no moral authority to criticize anything. You just need to sit down in a corner and hush, because your party has put you all in a position where you can't say nothing. It's an embarrassment. But something like that, so I don't know if it is Kamala pull out her phone and she go and look in on Facebook and she see that come up and, hey, I got to talk about this. Really? Now you're complaining about Dr. Miriam Abdul Richards being at the board of Angostura, and therefore she's compromised. So we're trying to say that because she's on the board, that somehow that makes her beholden to the government. And what? I'm confused.
We have a minute.
How so? Yeah.
And it's an hour.
Okay. Well, I figure, yeah. How did it? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're just not, that sense, not sensing. Eh? So they just need to be quiet. Easy up for the foolishness. You know?
Right now, they're just looking for something, you know.
Correct. And score and they're feeling on all score. Well, I know they're looking forward to the 30th. I see they're real pushing that 30th thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, Let them go ahead. As if the number is not high enough and the daily deaths is not high enough, they want to set new records. Well, they go ahead and let it yet. And because we know all have social distancing, right? You all marking up spots in the savannah. You stand up there, and I measure and tape between everybody. 6 feet. Yeah. You see what will happen. Just remember Australia, one protest, 4,000 people, and since then Australia has not been able to recover in terms of the daily number of new cases and deaths. Yeah. But apparently all Trinidad must make the map once again. Now go ahead. Continue. We'll see where that take all.
We go into the break, and when we come back, we have an interview this morning. So we'll be right back.
Nice. All right.
This administration is about creating that environment where businesses can in fact thrive. I spoke to you some time before about how we are going to work with the farmers and the fishermen, how we are going to work with those people who would produce food for us, because outside of food security, we have opportunities coming in, 300 hotel rooms on our doorstep to be completed somewhere in 2024, 2025, that kind of thing. You may think that is a long time, but the kind of preparation that we need in order to get to the point where we can produce our goods and services at an international standard, it will take time. And so those who are desirous of doing egg production, those who are desirous of planting watermelon and all those kind of things that a hotel of that size will need, the Tobago House of Assembly, again through the Business Development Unit, will hold your hands and ensure that you have the capital that you need to drive that kind of development. And this, of course, comes on the heels of us giving out 300 acres of land. This comes on the heels of us approving recently at the Executive Council agriculture access roads so that our farmers can have the wherewithal to do the planting and the growing of livestock, as the case might be. A People's National Movement administration that cares for each and every one of you. This is what it's all about. And so when we tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that we got your back, we mean it. When we tell you that we are going to work with each and every one of you, we mean it, ladies and gentlemen. And all we ask at this point in time is for you to come out and give support to our candidates within the respective electoral district.
December 6th, take no chance. Protect your future. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
We don't want no bad vibes in the land. Because I Rather be ready up for the task. Because I Rather ready to pump, rather ready to wave, rather ready to vote, ready to make me name, only ready to fight hard and be a god from up top to your yard. We don't pick the side, we ready to ride, we are the money fire.
From the studio to the stage, every Friday between 3 to 4 p.m. Right here on the street, 919 FM. Radio you can see. Log on to our Facebook and YouTube so you can see live interviews and performances from some of our very own local superstars. Right here on the street, 919 FM.
Look, there is the price of goods in the budget. No, but cost cutters have the best price for my pocket. But oh, this is Robbie B, and I shop at Cost Cutters Supermarket. All locations: Eldorado, Sangre Grande, Columbia, and Scarborough, Tobago. We are the most affordable supermarket in Trinidad and Tobago. You can always depend on us. This year, be mobile coming bigger to make your season brighter. So much giveaways to offer. Move with green and be a winner. Win groceries and cash. One tech makeovers. Free service for a year and a brand new car. Go wishing, just
plan. Switch, sign up, pay your bill, take a bundle to win over 1 million in prizes. Don't wish it, win it with B-Mobile.
Something extraordinarily exciting is happening all over the country. The Multiplier X Effect.
NLCB Scratch players have been extremely ecstatic as they can maximize their winnings up to 17.5 million in cash with the new Multiplier Trio of Games.
Okay. For just $10, $20, and $50, play the trio of 10X, 20X, and 50X games for a chance to win your way to 17.5 million in cash and up to 45 chances to win.
The new Multiplier Trio. Play all three and multiply the excitement today.
Players must be 18 years and older. Please play responsibly.
Tobago, ready up. Tune into our live council meeting on November 23rd.
This is Charles Adams inviting you to tune into our live council meeting.
Meeting begins at 6 p.m. at Center Street on all major TV and radio stations, PNM's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. Hear from the political leader, Tracy Davidson Celestine, and a powerful lineup of speakers. Tune in, click, like, and you must share. And on December 6th, take no chance. Protect your future. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Finance Company Limited wishes to advise customers making mortgage payments over the counter that the tellers at all our offices will be open daily from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. To make payments online, book appointments, request letters, statements, documents, and access other services, please visit our online customer service center at ttmf-mortgages.com. TTMF, from here to home.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle every Monday from 9:05 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 919 FM.
That drink you introduced me to, the U-Juice Turmeric Ginger Lime. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. First thing I realized is that the sugar content was very low, which is good for me at my age. But I think the experience I had with that juice is having drank it. You know, I could literally feel my brain very light. I could feel a sense of oxygen overtook my body. I felt light. You know, I could have this all day long.
Try U-Juice today. Available at leading supermarkets nationwide or order online at ujuiceroots.com for free delivery.
Sign up and save with Green Dot. When you subscribe to any of our broadband packages, you get 30% off the installation fee, allowing you to stream your favorite shows on any of your devices. Update your social media accounts and connect with friends and family. Stay on top of the class with online learning sessions, or keep your team in the loop with virtual meetings, all at an affordable price. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 224-GDOT today to sign up and save with Green Dot, improving and simplifying lives.
talk, watch, and listen to win big this Christmas.
100 grand.
Winning that.
Weekly prizes.
Winning that. With a 30-day Digicel Prime bundle. Simply listen to your favorite Christmas carols in D-Music, binge Christmas movies in Playgo, or listen to the radio on Go Loud, all on the go without using your any use data. That's more entertainment, more data, plus more chances to win from thousands of instant daily and weekly prizes. Visit the My Digicel app or dial *323# sign to buy. Digicel, better together this Christmas. Promotion approved by the NLCB.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko Sangre Grande, is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guest. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Friday night, Sunday Ministry of Worship, Children Hour, and the Word from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. and Friday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. all-night prayer for our nation. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated at Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
Share the live.
Share the live.
The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram.
Share the live.
Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
So welcome back on the inside. At this time I turn you over to Mr. Dominic Romaine. Dominic?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Right. So, listeners, as we continue our series of interviews with the candidates, not prospective anymore, but the candidates for the upcoming THA elections on December 6th, we are privileged once again. So potentially the next Chief Secretary for the Tobago House of Assembly, Mrs. Tracy Davidson Celestin. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning to you. Good morning to all of the listeners. How do you do?
I am very good. Can't complain. How are you this fine morning?
Very good, very good.
Any fatigue from all that campaigning?
Well, you have to find time to rest, and I'm trying to do that. You have to find time to sleep.
Nice. So how has the campaign been for you thus far? Enjoying it?
Yes, I'm enjoying every bit of the campaign. For some reason, I like politics, and more so, I like the excitement. I love the songs and, everybody coming together to sing in unity and, talking from the same page. So I like that. I like the fact that, people come out night after night to give support to the respective candidates and also to the political process. So I really like the whole energy. And for this campaign here, we have been feeling the vibe. Of course, our motto is that PNM has the energy and PNM has the vibe. And our songs are sweet. They are lovely.
Very much so.
They bring the carnival spirit very early. Plus, we have, the softer sides of the song as well. And then we have some calypsos in between. And we have both artists from Trinidad as well as from Tobago. So the campaign is moving along nicely, and I'm enjoying every moment of it.
Excellent, as it should be. Nice. So, Mrs. Celestin, tell us, what is your vision for Tobago?
Well, my vision for Tobago is, I've articulated it since the start of the campaign, basically. And for me going forward, and for the team that will lead the Tobago House of Assembly for the next 4 years or so, we will be focused on creating a self-sustaining, environmentally friendly Tobago, and a Tobago that is basically well diversified. Of course, we know that will take time. It will, of course, be an incremental approach for us, but one that we will be focused on developing over the next 4 years. And we want that to be led in large part by the private sector, and of course with a very healthy Tobagonian. And so in our manifesto, we have built out those different facets so that we can achieve those objectives going forward. So when I spoke about well diversified and being led by the private sector, there are of course initiatives in there to incentivize the private sector, because our role will be to ensure that we create the environment and have all the factors, the right ingredient to ensure that the private sector will grow. And then we have looked at initiatives in terms of how we can make Tobago more environmentally friendly, of course with a move towards utilizing renewable energy. And then we also have initiatives that will ensure that our people are more healthy, looking at the healthcare system and ensuring that we have preventative measures, focusing on sport and encouraging all to play sport. So within the manifesto, we have captured all of the various elements that would realize the vision, and they are coming through our plans of actions, and we have been talking about the various elements of our manifesto going forward.
Excellent. And I like that you made mention of your plans to incentivize the private sector. And I trust it is not with the intention of reducing the THA, size of the THA workforce as those on the other side.
well, that is certainly not our focus. We are not focused on sending home anyone at all. As a matter of fact, our focus is on creating opportunities for Tobagonians. We are not talking about ex gratia payment and severance packages. We are talking about creating a new division, which would be the Division of Information and Technology. That in itself would create some jobs for people, those who have degrees and those who do not have degrees. We are talking about incentivizing the private sector so that they too can make a contribution to the employment as well. And then even with our Scarborough enhancement and beautification project, that will open up opportunities for entrepreneurs as well. So the future is bright going forward on the People's National Movement administration, and hence the reason why we have been talking with people, getting them to understand the possibilities going forward, and in the process asking them to support all 15 candidates in the electoral districts.
So tell us a little bit more about this Scarborough Revitalization Project, because I imagine that is going to be a talking point over the next couple of days. With the announcement recently made by Mr. Dennis about a $50 million thing, some people say that's a bribe and so on.
Well, the thing is, people are excited. People are excited with the plans of actions, the manifesto from the People's National Movement. Two things. One, the Scarborough Revitalization Project, $60 million for the first phase of it, starting from the Scarborough Esplanade all the way down. And what we are intending to do is to create quite a number of shops. Of course, we're going to upgrade the current facility, which is the Scarborough Esplanade, ensure that we have the bars, ensure that we have restaurants, so that we can have and create hubs of activities there. And of course, open up business opportunities for people going forward. It is going to be well landscaped in terms of appearing very green. The building will have the facade of something that is very traditional, because we have been talking about selling a very traditional Tobago, and of course living the culture Tobago style. So the buildings will also take on that kind of look that easily says that Tobago is a traditional is a traditional place, but at the same time very modern in terms of the systems and the technology. And so that would also have access to free Wi-Fi, use of technology, and there will also be a parkade amongst other different facets that will make up this part of the proposed Scarborough revitalization or waterfront project, so to speak. I think the important thing in all of this is that the funding is readily available. For some time now, we have been having discussions with the Inter-American Development Bank, and they have approved $40 million of the $60 million to start the first phase. So it is now the role of the Tobago House of Assembly to find $20 million, which we have already found. The drawings are already developed, stakeholder consultations are ongoing at this time, and the intention is to start the project that would be the second quarter of the fiscal period, which would be January 2022. So there are exciting times, there are opportunities that will be created for Tobago. Because of course, that this comes on the heels of all that has been happening in the last year or so. We have the airport construction, that is another $1.2 billion. That will see on a yearly basis 3 million passengers, or cater rather for 3 million passengers. And on top of that, you have the Marriott project that will come. That will bring another 300 rooms. So the point is, we have to be in a position, if we are to attract the flights, if we are to attract more persons coming from Trinidad, especially those who can easily be considered in the top echelon, we have to be in a position to create the kind of product that will cause them to come. And far too often persons would be of the concern that all we have in Tobago is sun, sea, and sand, basically. We want to be able to add to those opportunities, those sites and attractions that we currently offer, and that is why we are pushing in this regard. I just want to indicate that the $50 million that has been announced by the Chief Secretary is no election gimmick. We have been working with the private sector for some time now. As a matter of fact, I think since the Division of Tourism and Transportation was established, a significant part of what we do is to ensure that we treat with some of the issues of the private sector. And so over the years, quite a number of programs have been developed, which is, of course, in keeping with providing that support to the private sector. And so this $50 million comes on the heels of that. In the last fiscal period, we had put aside, with the support of the central government, another $50 million that was set aside for room upgrades, ensuring that the physical plant is ready for when the borders open. And so this $50 million will, of course, assist them as well in terms of ensuring that their payroll and those kind of things are ready. When the borders open, I think it's probably later this year. So the point of the matter is, this is the culmination of our work. The Tobago House of Assembly, the Executive Council, continues to function until the time that the election has been won and other secretaries are sworn in. And so this has nothing to do with election, but of course us recognizing that we are in a very, very unpredictable time with the COVID. It has caused significant impacts on our people, for the business sector, the tourism sector in large part. And as I have always committed, we are about ensuring that we provide solutions to the challenges that we currently face.
Excellent. This country's food import bill has, from time immemorial, been a big issue for many, and there's been discussion about treating with that matter from the perspective of agriculture. Mr. Dennis would have announced a program where lands would be distributed to young people to try and encourage them to come into the agriculture sector and in the first instance make a contribution to the country's food supply, but also to develop businesses for themselves. So you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, yes, we have been talking about food security in Tobago and in Trinidad and Tobago for the longest while, because you're right, our food import bill is very high. And that will always happen because, of course, you know, we are now very exposed to what is happening in the world, and sometimes we have a tendency to have foreign taste. And because we have foreign taste and because we are traveling and all of that, people would want to. And then shopping now is easier. When you can shop on Amazon and you know, purchase all kind of things, not only clothing now, but food stuff as well. So however you look at it, it will always be high because of the exposures and the ease with which we could do transactions internationally. But then, of course, we still have to try to encourage our own local production and even our own local manufacturing, and agriculture, of course, plays a significant role in that regard. So we have been trying to make our own dent here in Tobago, and in that regard, we have been providing support to the private sector and the agricultural sector. And so what we have been doing is to ensure that we can create the access to the lands that we currently have, that is the lands that are owned by the THA. And so we have invested heavily. I think it has been over $140 million over the last 4 years in open up access roads so that our farmers can farm. And most importantly, to provide them with the land so that they also can increase the production. So one of the things that the Secretary of Agriculture, the Chief Secretary as well, has been doing is to give deeds to farmers who are well organized and who have shown that they have the capacity to plant. I think it's this week there will be over 100 acres of land given to several farmers, starting off with Belmont, where 22 farmers will receive over 80 acres of land. And of course, this is about us helping them with the incentives. This is about us holding their hands so that they can prepare themselves for what is to come. Because we want Tobagonians to be a part of all the opportunities that will be created. So when that hotel comes and the other hotels come to this island, we want them to be in a position to supply goods and to supply services so that they will not be left out. Because others will come up. Others will come, whether it be from international or even from Trinidad, to apply their trade here. But Tobagonians must not be left out. And so we are facilitating the process, as I have indicated. We are about ensuring that we have create the environment in which our businessmen or agriculturists can thrive.
Excellent. So a few of the candidates that we've interviewed so far would have been mentioned that, you know, on their walkabout, they encounter young people who say, I want an early morning walk. Right? And a lot of them have said that.
Right.
Which I find interesting. I suppose they would have their reasons for that. But what would you say to these young people? And what are some of the alternatives that the THA under your leadership would offer?
Well, you know, the thing is, everyone is not really cut from the same cloth, and we have to recognize that. But more than that, what I've recognized is that early morning work is gold in Tobago. Because when you finish at a particular time, whether it be 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning, I don't know what exactly some of the times are, it frees you up to do other things. So for the women, it frees them up to take care of the children so that they can go off to school in a timely manner, cook, prepare, that kind of thing, for when those school-age children return home. For the men, it frees them up to take up other jobs. So whether it be masonry, whether it be for those fishermen who have to go out to sea, they use those kinds of opportunities to take up other opportunities, other jobs throughout the day. The only challenge is that I think they have to recognize that we are not in a position to employ all of Tobago in that category of work. And so if it is that opportunities will be created, as we are saying that they will be created, they also have to look at where those opportunities are. and try to be prepared to capitalize on those opportunities. There will be opportunities opening in the tourism sector at the level of management and even at maybe the other various levels. So it's how they change their mindset, so to speak, and how they prepare to access those jobs as well outside of the daily paid jobs, outside of the jobs that we consider to be gold. And then one of the things I've also recognized as well is that most persons in Tobago are very focused on security of tenure, and having a government job gives them that security of tenure as well. But it also gives them an opportunity, a time during the day to take up other meaningful jobs as well.
Nice. What kind of leadership style can the Executive Council expect under the leadership of Tracy Davidson Celeste?
I have a tendency to manage by objectives, right? And so for me, is being clear on what we want to achieve. And so those objectives will be set out on a year-to-year basis, and people will be assessed ever so often in terms of how we are working together as a team to achieve those objectives going forward. Chaos is not something that I embrace. For me, it has to be a planned approach to achieving those things that we have said that we will achieve, and working with a plan of action to achieving those objectives. I am a hard worker, and so I will push all the members around the table to work as hard or even as harder than I work. And so in order to do that and in order to measure their performance, I will ensure that they are managed by objectives and basically that they are called to account, not so much so only in terms of the projects and the programs that we want to roll out, but also in terms of their work and their representation in the electoral district as well.
Excellent. So there's an old saying, prescription without diagnosis is malpractice.
Yes, I like that.
So how much would you say the programs, the plans and the programs of the THA going forward involves consultation with the people of Tobago? Because I've heard some PDP persons who call in the radio station say, I don't know if the PNM dropped the ball in the last 4 years and so on, and then talking to the people. How much consultation would you say would take place in terms of, well, we've spoken with the people based on our walkout and so on, we've heard what they've said, this is what they want, and we are going to incorporate that in our plans going forward?
Well, the thing is, we are always in consultation with our people. As a matter of fact, our manifesto that is on the table now and that is being articulated to the people of Tobago is as a result of what persons have said to us when we walk our electoral district, or even when we interact with them on public days or walk to the market or through the length and breadth of the island. One of the things that would always come to us is we need more jobs, and hence the reason why my first priority going forward is to ensure that we create employment opportunities. And I've said it, that my focus over the next 4 years is to at least create 3,000 jobs. And then, of course, there are things having to do with infrastructure. I spoke about a drainage unit within the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment to ensure that we can treat with those drainage issues that are very present on the island, especially in the low-lying areas. Even in my electoral district, when I walk about, everyone will complain not so much about employment, but about drainage issues. So the point I'm making here is that what we are talking about is what the people have articulated to us in terms of what are their needs, what are their concerns at this point in time, and we are about providing solutions and, of course, taking into consideration what they have said. But I just want to touch back on the point that you made, that prescription without
diagnosis.
Without diagnosis.
This is malpractice, yes.
It's malpractice. And the thing is, because we have been in the assembly for some time, we understand what is required to take the assembly forward. We understand how we are to treat with those issues that will come to us. And so we are in the best position to prescribe. What about those who on the other side who have, in many instances, have no experience and have never worked in the assembly? They are really not in a position to prescribe, because, as you rightfully said, if they don't understand the workings of the THA, they will really misdiagnose. So when we speak from a position of knowing what is happening, and we speak from the position of coming up with the solutions based on what we have heard from the THA and based on our understanding of the residents in the community.
Excellent. As you mentioned, speaking from a position of knowing, right? That was the impression that Mr. Watson Duke and Mr. Farley Augustine would have given earlier on this year with respect to this whole zipline issue. Right? They presented a case as if this is what it is. Farley said, from just a cursory view, I could say that this should go to the police and so on. Yet when the Auditor General wanted to come to Tobago, Watson Duke told her, shut your mouth. I will shut down the Auditor General's department and I'll make your life a living hell. Now, I would have thought that if what you're telling the people is true, then you would want the author of the report to come and corroborate what you're saying. Yes. Right? But I see now that the THA plans to take legal action against the company that was awarded the contract so that you can recover the money and so on that was spent. So tell us a little bit about how that is progressing.
Well, let me say that one of the things that the PDP does, and of course they're reading from the UNC playbook, is the campaign on the basis of lies and hate and victimization. And so when you listen to Farley in the last election, you recognize that Farley doesn't have a clue about how the Tobago House of Assembly is run, and more so about how the different arms of the Tobago House of Assembly is run. And so he was all about waving that he had evidence that I, Tracy Davidson Celestine, former Secretary of Tourism, was involved in some kind of corrupt activity. And as a matter of fact, I have given him the opportunity since I think it was January to submit the information to the police, and that has not yet happened. And so I have initiated legal action against Farley. Well, he was all over the place indicating that he has courthouse closed. But for me, it's not having courthouse closed, but it's having evidence, right, to present to the court. And the strange thing is, he was supposed to have filed his defense by November 15th, which was about 2 weeks ago. And he is now begging for additional time. A further 12 weeks or so, and I've said to my lawyer, no, that I'm not prepared to do that. I am not prepared to extend it beyond 1 month, because he in fact had about 8 months to submit his information to the court. But the point of the matter is, this zipline Auditor General management letter is all based on lies that Farley would have piloted to the people of Tobago to, of course, try to create an impression about my work and my leadership in the Tobago House of Assembly in the time that I was there. But anyone who knows me would know how I operate, how meticulous I am, and more so how focused I am on ensuring that projects can be churned out for the benefit of the people of Tobago and not for my benefit. The focus is never on me, but me wanting to ensure that I can have the programs, the plans, the policies that will impact the people of Tobago. And so he will be taken to court for lying blatantly to the public and for defamation. And I await his submission of his defense, because if, of course, it's not submitted by the time that we have given to him in terms of the extension, we, of course, would be moving forward to treat with that particular issue. And I hope that all of it will take place in the glaring view of the people of Tobago, so that they understand what kind of individual that this gentleman is, who wants to become leader and Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. Yes, I know that the Division of Tourism and Transportation is treating with the matter in a particular way. I think they have gotten legal advice and will be moving forward to treat with that particular issue. I just want to say that the intent, or rather, that project would have gone through all of the proper stages that any project is to go through, starting off in the first instance with a proposal. The proposal usually comes from the members of staff indicating to the administrator that we want this particular project to take place because it can, of course, treat with sites, the development of sites and attractions in a particular way. The administrator views it, sends it to the secretary signs off to the executive council. The executive council is a body of 9 secretaries that will interrogate the plan of action that is in front of them and will then give approval for the project and for a particular process to be followed. In that document, which is the executive council note, it indicates that the project is approved, how much it would cost, and how it is to be tendered, which is by an arm of the Tobago House of Assembly that is not connected with the Division of Tourism and Transportation. And so the point I'm making, the procurement and everything was done, reports sent back to the division, and the contracts and everything were drawn up, and discussions and implementation was supposed to have taken place. The thing is that although the approval was granted in December, I think, of 2014, that project really never started until, or the conversations really never started until about January, that would have been June 2015. So the point is the approval could come, but it will take time because you have to do consultation, you have to do assessment, you have to do quite a number of different things. I recall there were some discussions with Environmental Tobago to find out whether the project would be obtrusive to the environment. Those discussions took time. After those discussions, they had to review some of the drawings. So even though it started then, it took some time because of the nature of the project and what was involved. We're talking about ensuring that nothing would affect the environment. And then, of course, there are safety concerns. You have to ensure that you dot all of the I's and cross the T's. And so by the time the equipment were bought and were ready to be shipped, there was some delay in the start of the project and in terms of the approval process, but there is nothing untoward in terms of any secretary, me or anybody in the division, having or being directly involved in any corrupt activities with that project. And so that was placed on the table. Farley heard of it because I spoke about it, but he still moved forward to lie to the people of Tobago in terms of corrupt activities. And that is because Farley doesn't even know the difference between an executive council note. He doesn't understand what is a management letter, and he does not understand what is an auditor general report. A management letter is basically a document from the office of the auditor that says, we looked at this particular thing that you have listed here in your budget, but we need more information. By the time the final document came out, which was the Auditor General report, there was no issue whatsoever with the zipline project, none. It means to me and all of Tobago who understands how these things operate is that they were satisfied that all of the procedures identified by the Executive Council were in place. The funding was in place. There were the correct approvals from the administrator right down to the secretary, everybody, and that the procurement also took place and that they were comfortable based on what they would have seen that monies were paid to the contractor. So who is Farley, who has never yet worked in the Tobago House of Assembly, not even at that level, to tell the people that it is not so?
Kamla Persad-Bissessa's tenure as Prime Minister unfortunately left a bitter taste in the mouth of many people with respect to female leadership. They're staying that, so some people say, nah, we don't want another female. Do you think that is going to play on the psyche of some people in terms of Casey Davidson and Celeste leading UTH?
Well, I am definitely not Kamla, and I'm not surrounded by the same kind of people that Kamla was surrounded by. Full stop.
Excellent. So, well, as we're on that point, let's talk a little bit about being a female politician and a female leader. Do you think it's harder for female politicians than your male counterparts?
Well, the thing is, I have a tendency to not look at it in terms of gender. I more look at it in terms of capacity and capabilities and even experience. And then, of course, I focus on what is to be done, what is to be delivered, and an understanding of what the people, an understanding of what the issues and what people want. But yes, to answer your question, it is more difficult for a female leader because, especially in the context of Tobago, we have never had female leaders. It has always been the chairmen of the Tobago House of Assembly, which have largely been males. And then when we changed to chief secretary as the position, it has also been males as well. So this is something that is new for the people of Tobago. Yes, they might be somewhat suspicious, and there would be people who would interrogate what is being said, who would interrogate your past and even your performance more so than they would do for a male. But at the same time, women leaders have done very well. Look at how people like Merkel has done in Germany. Look at how Mia Mottley is doing well in Barbados. So the point I'm making is that there are reference points outside of Trinidad that you can look to find evidence of where leaders have performed very creditably. And I, as the first female chief secretary, would ensure that I work with and on behalf of the people, and that I implement those things that I say that I will implement. I come with quite a lot of experience in this process. I come with quite a lot of understanding of how the Tobago House of Assembly operates, and I know what are the desires and the hearts and minds of the people of Tobago. And then I have a close working relationship with the central government, which would of course augur well for what we want to do going forward. In all my years in the Assembly, I've delivered for the people of Tobago. In my work as an assistant secretary, as a matter of fact, the first swimming pool that was built in Tobago was when I was the assistant secretary. That swimming pool is now in Corland. The first set of lights on playing field is as a result of my work in the Division of Youth Affairs and Sport, being responsible for the Division of Education, Youth Affairs and Sport, being responsible at the time for Youth Affairs and Sport. A lot of playing facilities, Lambeau Recreation Ground, the Patience Hill Art Court, they were built when under my leadership as the Assistant Secretary. If you were to move over to the Division of Community Development and Culture, in my 4 years, we built 8 community centers, and I could list them out. We had Betsy Soap, Speyside, Palataville, Lowlands, John Dial, etc., etc. It is just that in some instances, I was transferred to another division after the election, so my name was not carved on the wall, but all of them were built in my tenure from 2009, I think it was, to 2013. And I performed very well in the Division of Tourism and Transportation. As a matter of fact, when I went in, cruise passengers to the destination was in the vicinity of about 22,000, and when I left, it was in the vicinity of about 100,000, and we got quite a number of flights to return, even flights from Scandinavia, etc. The point I'm making, I don't boast, but I just want Tobago, all of Tobago, to understand that I'm a hard worker. I'm one who is very driven, very motivated, and most importantly, all of the plans and programs that I have implemented over my years as secretary or assistant secretary has benefited the people of Tobago immensely.
Excellent. One of the promises of the PDP is $10 million for each of the 15 districts. And if I recall correctly, that comes right out of the playbook of the UNC, because during their tenure, People's Partnership, they had promised $10 million, a constituency fund. The PDP, there has been no details coming out as to exactly where this money is going to come from, how this constituency fund is going to work, how the money is going to be spent, to whom is going to be given. We've already heard Mr. Duke say that there will be no justice for those people with the big red flags. So let's say on the off chance that they win, what is going to happen to the districts that are won by the PNM with respect to this? Does it show a lack of understanding on the part of the leadership of the PDP as to how budgeting works? Because obviously this money that they plan to take would have been earmarked to do other things. So to come now and say that you're going to do that with a lack of detail, to my mind, it just opens up the door to any amount of a ball. So how would you speak?
Well, the thing is, I really don't understand how it will work either, for this reason. Yesterday, I think I was going to a meeting and I heard the deputy political leader of the PDP, which would be Dr. Faith, talk about this constituency fund in glowing terms, and all constituencies should be treated fairly, right? And equally. But that is a flaw. Because $10 million is not a lot of money if it is that you have to develop the electoral districts. And if all electoral districts are to be treated in the same manner, we are going to have challenges going forward. Because when you look at the landscape, some electoral districts are less developed than others. And it would mean that you would have to treat them differently if you are to bring them up to the same level as other electoral districts. Putting aside 10 million, let's look at instance for the retaining wall construction program that we currently have. There are some walls that exceed $10 million. So are you telling the people of Tobago that after we have built one wall, that there would be no other development in your electoral district for that year or for the 4 years? Let's look at the community of Buku, where it is the home for sport in terms of goat race and crab race and all of that. The investment that was made in that electoral district, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, was in the vicinity of about $200 million, because we built a lovely facility that could easily be the place where they would do quite a lot of sporting activities. We had put in road infrastructure in there. We built a community center coming up to $200 million. So are they saying that in every instance under their administration, they would only spend $10 million as a constituency fund? What when the communities want other infrastructure facilities? The construction of the community center in Charlottesville at this point is about $11 to $12 million. And that comes on the heels of a mini mall project that was recently opened, which is a further $12 million. So in one sitting, we have spent over $30 million, or intend to spend over $30 million within a 4-year period in Charlottesville. And of course, that doesn't take into consideration the works that will come to the upgrade of the jetty and the playing field and all of that. The point I am making is that what they are talking about a $10 million make absolutely no sense. The kind of infrastructure investment that is needed in some of these electoral districts to bring them to the standard that the people would want to see cannot be quantified, or cannot be limited rather to a $10 million investment constituency fund. In order to move services up to Tobago East and in Roxborough, the administrative complex costed us $60.2 million. So when the PUNC and the PDP tell you that they will invest $10 million in the electoral district, you should be very concerned and very worried, because that is telling all of us that after that 10 million is done, there is no other development that will be taking place in that electoral district. But under the People's National Movement administration, we are not limiting or confining the level of investment that we make in every electoral district. As a matter of fact, we are looking at it, or investment, based on the demand and based on the needs from the community. And so when you listen to our candidates on the platform, let us say the last meeting we had was Downey Marcel's meeting in Bethel, he has a plan of action that he would want to see implemented over the next 4 years. When you quantify his plan of action, it might be in the vicinity of 40 to 50 million. Should I, as a chief secretary leading the executive council, indicate to Downey that he can only access $10 million after under my administration? That makes absolutely no sense. to construct a playing field in Golden Lane for candidate Brian Thomas and for his people may cost in the vicinity of about $12 million because we have to purchase the land and we have to develop the land. But at the end of the day, we are focused on ensuring that we put the required investment in place to treat with the needs and the demands. So to say to the people $10 million is what we will invest. Of course, if I am a resident of an electoral district, I would run from that plan of action.
Yes. Now, Mr. Duke loves to do Facebook Lives. I've seen him do quite a few. We're going from beach to beach saying that we fix this and this needs to fix. One thing I've not seen Mr. Duke talk about in any of his lives is the work that he has done in his district for the past 5 years. I've not seen Farley either. I have no clue what they have done. So,
well,
have they approached the executive council to do anything of significance in their districts in the past 5 years?
Well, the thing is, they have a tendency. they have a tendency. Well, the point of the matter is they really can't see that they have done anything within the electoral district, because representation is not solely about being in office. When I say in office, taking up secretarial positions. Let us look at our candidate on this side, Kelvon Morris, who operates in the electoral district of, well, it was then Darrell Spring Garden. Do I have that right? Can't recall. But the point is, he has not sit in the executive council, but he has been very active in the electoral district, working with the private sector, looking to see what kind of support he can get in order to represent his people. We have not seen that in the PDP-held electoral districts, and so they look for every excuse to not represent because their focus is solely on position, being Secretary of Finance, being Chief Secretary, being Secretary of Health. And so they have not looked at ways and means in which they can collaborate with the private sector to get things done. And more so, how they can petition the current secretaries of the assembly to treat with things in their electoral district. Let us look at this food card thing that they are talking about. How many food card form did the Farley put in? How many did Watson put in? How many did Faith put in? I am sure if we were to do the calculation, you would recognize that they have hardly put in anything. I recall when I just gone into the Division of Health, Wellness and Family Development, I took up the responsibility for that division. And of course, we had to treat with the social needs, vulnerable needs, persons who were sent home. It was a shock, that kind of thing, dealing with the effects of COVID-19, etc. And in my office, I was called to Speyside to treat with a particular issue. That is Farley's electoral district. The people of Blue Waters Inn were sent home. They needed food support. They needed quite a number of things. And I had to step in as the secretary. Where was Farley at that point in time? So they're on Facebook talking about all kind of things. We have to, and we also have to ask ourselves the question, when last did they walk that electoral district asking the people for their support? And all you see is them going in 2 or 3 days before the election, buying up drinks and stag and all kind of things in order to get the people to come out to support. But I'm hoping that the people could see through that and recognize that the PNM representatives have been there helping them with or without being in office. Look at the kind of development that is in Roxborough at this point in time. Yes, Watson would try to fool the people to indicate that it's because of his representation. It had nothing to do with it, with him. We recognize that we have to develop Tobago East just as we have been doing with Tobago West. We have to bring the two areas up to the same kind of quality of life in terms of services, etc. And we made the investment in the people. We have health center, hospital, fire station. We have an administrative complex. It had absolutely nothing. I am sure if I was to ask the Secretary of the Secretary of Infrastructure, how many letters have you received from those representatives about road repairs, fixing a pothole? He would tell me none. But our Tobago East representative, she writes all of the time. I receive the letters and we try to assist. That is because she is present in the electoral district. She is present in her constituency and she is working with the Tobago House of Assembly. But you don't get that from the PDP representatives. And more so, they're telling people now that they have never been in office, so they are not in a position to treat with their issues, but they had an opportunity to sit where the decisions are made. Coming out from the 6-6, we thought about an amalgamation. Remember that in the constitution of the People's National Movement, we have always said that we're not going down that road. But the council executive of the PNM said, because it is a 6-6 arrangement, let us give consideration to it. And we agreed that we will work with them. We will have our 6 and they will have their 6, and we will try to have some secretaries and assistant secretaries on both sides, and they would hold respective divisions eventually. And they pulled it off the table. So they too had an opportunity to sit, to be secretaries and assistant secretaries, to get their roads fixed for their constituents, to get food support for their constituents, to be in a position where they could treat from the administrative arm with issues that they have. But they're fooling the people, because for them, it was not about people before politics, but position before the people. So they were fighting for Secretary of Finance and fighting for Secretary of this and fighting for all kind of different positions, as opposed to focusing on how they could improve the service level for their electoral district residents. And so when I tell you that they're campaigning on the basis of hate and lies and victimization, I have evidence of that, and I know of what I speak.
Now, one of the glaring things about the PDP, and I've made this point before, is that the executive does not seem to have respect for structure. So I've made the point, they don't have a national executive, there's no treasurer, there's no general secretary, all of these things that are critical to any established political party. So if they don't have respect for structure within their own internal workings, how can they be expected to have respect for the workings of the THAs? It's just anything goes, right?
Well, I really hope that the people of Tobago are hearing that question. And I'm also hoping that if you have observed that they too are observing that they are anti-institution. And so they're about breaking down all the different layers of transparency and accountability that exist in any organization in order to further their own personal agendas. And this is what it's all about. And you see it in the operations of the PSA. When you look at the Auditor General report, what that Auditor General report is saying, which was of course reported in The Guardian, is that there is no layer of accountability within the PSA. Everything is done by the president and his team. They are the chief cook and bottle washers. That does not now happen in the Tobago House of Assembly. And my fear is that if they get there on December 7th, we could have the same kind of arrangement. When you have a man who is a president walking through the streets of Port of Spain with millions of dollars on his back, and you want to put that same individual in the Tobago House of Assembly, I don't know that I should continue the rest of that. I want the people of Tobago to imagine the possibilities with an administration that is anti-institution and one which has no respect for man, woman, and child. They have no respect whatsoever for transparency and even accountability and for the central government. And so if it's chaos they want, come the 7th of December, it's chaos they would get.
So true. Mr. Celestin, well, we're almost at a wrap. So I will give you how time flies when you're having fun, eh?
Yes, so true.
So I will give you the opportunity of the last word. So let's say this is the night of December 5th, and you are speaking to the people of Tobago for that one last opportunity. Give them that message.
All I would say to them is thank you, Tobago, for the support. There will be new and exciting times under my leadership and under the People's National Movement administration. And the point is, we have been demonstrating that throughout the campaign. We have new and exciting plans that are backed by fact, and most importantly, plans that are backed by funding. I want the people of Tobago to understand that the programs, plan and policy position of the PNM administration doesn't necessarily have to be the same under a PDP or a UNC administration in Tobago. We are focused on ensuring that we have social initiatives that could help the vulnerable people or single women out there. The amount of them that would call to me on a regular basis, message me, whether it be on WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, talking about the level of hardship. I encourage you to come out to support the People's National Movement, because we have a plan of programs for you. We're talking about 2 free kids at daycare centers that would free up financial resources so that you can go on to do other meaningful things, whether it be study, etc. We're catering for the farmers, we're catering for the businessmen, we're catering to upgrade and improve Scarborough. Quite a lot of exciting things. 3,000 jobs, 2,000 lots of land to be developed over the next 4 years. And the point of the matter is we have started putting things in place so that when we say we are going to do this, it is because we know that we can get it done. So to the people of Tobago at this time, vote for a party that has your best interests at heart, and vote for Tracy Davidson Celestine and her team so that we can take Tobago to a new and exciting level. The PNM has set the foundation over the last 20 years, and we are now bent on ensuring that we could build the house so that all of us could be in good stead.
Excellent. Well, let me just steal 1 more minute. Just tell me quickly, what are the characteristics that the screening committee looks for in its candidates?
Winnability is what we look for. Remember that political parties are set up to win elections, and then to go forward to service its people and to manage an island. And so the first step in all of that is finding candidates who can win their electoral district. So that is what we look for. It's not so much about degrees and all of that, because people can be trained. If you look at leadership models, they tell you that people can be trained. And we try to always ensure that we train all of our candidates, whether it be in public speaking, and then when they win and get into the administration, that we train them as well. So it's not so much about having PhDs or masters or whatever it is, but integrity, commitment, passion, and that you understand what the needs are of the people in the electoral district and would go on to win and represent them.
Right, and in that case, you don't need a social contract for them to sign.
No, we don't need a social contract. We are already sworn in by the highest officer of the land, which is the president, and we have an oath of office that we take, which speaks to you representing people, honesty, integrity, those kind of things. So we are not mamagaing anybody with a social contract.
Mrs. Davidson Celestin, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
So yes. Enjoy the rest of the campaign. We look forward to hearing your nightly contributions.
Thank you.
And we also look forward to the night of December 6th when all will say in unison, great is the PNM and we
great
have
is the PNM. All right, have a good one.
You too. Back to you, Bruce.
Take care.
Yes. So we go for a break now, guys, and we'll be right back.
We got this. I cannot wait for election morning. Tell them why. I depend down to me elbow, darling. Yeah, so right now let me fix up. Come on, now let me link up. Bring a friend, let me build up. Till Tobago as one. From the country they love, the PNM is the way that we love. Provide representation. Hey, we got this. We got this. We got this. PNM. We got this. We got this. We got this. Whoa, yeah.
December 6th, take no chance. Protect your future. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, conference and cremation trains, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
Welcome the Christmas holidays this year with quality and attractive furniture from Stylist Furniture Limited. 2 locations, 51 Rushwood Street, San Fernando, and 101 Crackness Village in Princestown. Select from a wide range of contemporary furniture to enhance your homes. Now open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call today, 652-2542. Season's greetings to all our customers and friends from Stylist Furniture Limited. Stylist Furniture Limited. For this time in you.
Something extraordinarily exciting is happening all over the country. The Multiplier X Effect.
NLCB Scratch players have been extremely ecstatic as they can maximize their winnings up to 17.5 million in cash with the new multiplier trio of games.
Okay. For just $10, $20, and $50, play the trio of 10X, 20X, and 50X games for a chance to win your way to 17.5 million in cash and up to 45 chances to win.
The new multiplier trio. Play all 3 and multiply the excitement today.
Players must be 18 years and older. Please play responsibly.
Hey, hush him out now, boy.
Why you rush?
Is everything okay with Kyle?
Yeah, it's just his bad knee acting up again.
Hey, Kyle. Ooh, sounds like your knee is a royal pain in the ass. I fixed my knee and eliminated my joint pain using Himalaya Joint Care and Turmeric.
Of course. Himalaya Joint Care and Turmeric. Joint Care and Turmeric from Himalaya, providing clinically studied supplements for over 85 years. Himalaya since 1930.
What is Apex? It is the pinnacle of high-performance vision through a lens. It's clarity, no matter what angle you look at. It's comfort, no matter what you do all day, every day. And it's customized with every digital measurement your eyes require to see at their very best. Apex Digital Lenses by Value Optical, the ultimate lens design for your eyes. Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
Dr. Livette. Join him right here on your radio every Friday afternoon from 5:05 p.m. to 5:35 p.m. for your dose of the health and wellness in a program that is sure to change your life. Popular for promoting Livette rather than diet, Dr. Livette has transformed a number of lives nationwide and is now live on the Street 919 FM every Friday from 5:05 p.m. Tune in and also learn about the U-Juice to build your immunities and promote overall great health. Dr. Livette on the Street 919 FM this and every Friday from 5:05 p.m. to 5:35 p.m. It's time that you live.
Police,
Good day, Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488?
Yes, Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I could buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arabita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 60 Tools.
Alright, thanks boss. Nah man. Granny,
do you have $488 to lend me?
After all the talk during the week, don't switch off on the weekend and keep it on the street. It's classic soca and classic kaiso when you're liming with the live wire on Saturdays from 5 to 7 p.m. only on the street 919 FM.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco Sangre Grande, is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guest. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Friday night, Sunday Ministry of Worship, Children Hour, and the Word from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. and Friday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. all night prayer for our nation. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated at Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
This is the Street 919 FM COVID-19 updates. In case you missed it, the latest COVID positive cases in TNT as of November 22nd, 2021 stands at new positive cases 404, total active cases 8,695, total recovered patients 55,621. Total positive cases for COVID-19 as of March 2020 to present, 66,293. Follow the Ministry of Health COVID-19 protocols. Wear your mask, sanitize, social distance, and avoid gatherings. A message from the Street 919 FM.
The Street 91.9 FM brings you today's tips to improve your financial literacy. Improving your financial literacy is a never-ending endeavor that needs to be prioritized. As you work on improving your financial literacy, it's important to continue your momentum. Here are your tips. Pay attention to your fees. Understanding the fee structure and the amount you have been paying on a monthly or even annual basis in regards to fees associated with financial services is extremely important. Account service fees, annual financial planning service fees, investment account management fees, you name it. If you haven't reviewed and audited your fees yet, I recommend that you sit down and make this a priority. That was your financial tip brought to you by the Street 91.9 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Baila! This Christmas I want mucho dinero. Mucho dinero. Let me go. Dance around the table, dance up. Get up if you're able, get up. Dance around the table, dance up. Let me jump, let me jump. Dance around the table, dance up. Get up if you're able, get up. Dance around the table.
So welcome back. Just a bit of information for you. Tobagonians, it's the merriest time of the year. Christmas at Lowlands Mall, Tobago's #1 shopping and entertainment destination. This Saturday, November 27, come and enjoy the pianist Gerard Balfour, star vocalist Michelle Williams, and music by DJ Journey. And Sweet Parang from El Corazon de Parang, and it's all from 3 p.m. Also, big Christmas savings from most stores and sumptuous choices from the food court. Christmas is yours at Lowlands Mall. This Christmas, load up your sleigh with a home entertainment system from DirecTV. Simply purchase a prepaid kit, then activate and top up 30 days for your chance to win. Enter now and start dashing through the shows with DirecTV Prepaid. Promotion ends December 17th. Do you know your legal rights? Do you have burning legal questions you always wanted the answers for? Then let's talk legal. Join us right here on the Street 909 FM as we discuss legal information and administration at its finest. Every Monday from 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. and Thursdays from 10:05 a.m. to 10:35 a.m. as we discuss matters pertaining to you. Let's Talk Legal is brought to you by the L. Daniel and Associates Legal Administrative Firm. Let's Talk Legal, democratizing law, right here on the Street 909 FM every Monday from 11:15 a.m. and Thursday from 10:05 a.m. Dale Daniel and Associates are located on Taylor Street, Woodbrook. Our opening hours are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Welcome to the Christmas holidays this year with quality and attractive furniture from Stylus Furniture Limited. Our two locations, 51 Rushwood Street, San Fernando, and 101 Cragnesh Village in Princess Town. Select from a wide range of contemporary furniture to enhance your homes. Now open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call today at 652-2542. Season's greetings to all our customers and friends from Stylus Furniture Limited. Stylus Furniture Limited, for the style in you. Value Optical wishes to advise the public that all 13 branches are open full-time to provide expert eye care services to you. All of our regular services are available. For your safety, we continue to practice established health and safety protocols and recommend that you make an appointment for all testing services. Please call us at 225-4865 or toll-free 800-2020 for all inquiries on opening hours, eye testing availability, and how we can assist your eye care needs. Value Optical, caring for your eyes. For all your hardware, building materials, auto parts, small tool rentals, pets and pet supplies, gravel and sand, don't forget PowerMaster, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries starting from $488. And it's all at Johnny Q, number 15 Arapita Avenue, Woodbrook, and our new Johnny Q Superstore in Lowlands Mall, Tobago, off Claude Noel Highway. Just call 63 Tools. So Dominic, welcome back.
My last saw this.
Oh, good. We had one of that in the buffet, as they just say.
Yes, I remember growing up.
What? That is that you call dig out.
Yeah.
What, boy?
Untouched.
Huh. Yeah. Only have some good souvenirs there, boy.
Yeah, boy. Could auction them thing.
No. Right about now, that priceless, you know.
You know? I remember as a child growing up, that bottle was an ornament.
Yeah. I wonder if that might be still in the buffet there. I'll take a peep and see.
Yeah.
And I feel that
it's full?
I doubt that. I know that. Boy. Yeah. Well, let's see. We have a segment coming up at 8:35 a.m. I think that segment will close the show this morning.
Okay.
So we could probably, I guess, open the lines.
Yeah.
So guys, you can call us at 342-0081 and 466-5391. Caller, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hi, morning, Bruce.
Morning, Jan. How you doing?
Hi, okay, morning, Dominic.
Hi, Jenny,
to all
morning.
the callers and listeners on 91.9. When I listen to Mrs. Davison Celestine, you get a sense of calm. She knows what she's about. She has this. Her plans for the THA is well thought out. It's not chaotic. And she likes order. You can see that. When you listen to Watson Solomon Duke, who we know is the leader of the PDP, there is chaos. There is a sense of mayhem and bacchanal. There is no clear plan, no direction for THA, no direction for the people of Tobago, more than simply to rile them up. He doesn't understand the words that he uses. He can't pronounce them. There is no connectivity. And as Mrs. Davison would have said, Tracy, Celestine would have said, there is no adherence to institution, like it's anti-institution. And if you are against an institution, those things that help society together so that there is not chaos and mayhem, then if anything would go. And how could you rule in that kind of space where the leader themselves is anti-structure, anti-policy, anti-regulation? Then you'll have a society that will break down. So again, I'm telling people, when you listen to the two leaders speak, it's chalk and cheese. Tobago make the right choice, sit down and think logically about what you're doing. And finally, before I go, Duke and them come like, when they go into school, Bruce, you know, some children who always behaving bad. They're always in trouble, bacchanal, confusion. The mother to come in the school, the mother getting all. And then you had another set of students who they will put their head down to their work because they understand the importance. The parents will come in the school to find out how they're going all that. And then when school finish after 5 years, whatever, you see them group and them who was laughing and having a good time. They have nothing to produce, nothing to show. They're still the same behaving. And you would have kept your head down, study your work. Stick to the plan, stick to the structure, you're able to come out now and give back positively to the society. That is what you have with the PDP and the PNM. PDP, laughers, jokers, nothing wrong, and PNM stable and always there to support. Thank you, Bruce, again for the opportunity. You all have a blessed one.
You too, take care. Caller, good morning.
Good morning to my brother, Bruce.
Hey, morning, Village. How you doing?
I didn't know what Dominic. Morning. But I want to talk to Dominic this morning.
Yes,
Dominic, if your car working good and nothing wrong with your car, would you go by a mechanic?
No.
So the people at the Tobago, if you have something working, why you want to change it? And that way we do it. Your car working good, and they're looking to go by the mechanic to change for that way the people, and especially those who supporting the PDP, is that way they intend to do. So children at Tobago, have a blessed day, and the people at Tobago, for God's sake, do the honorable thing. I've gone.
Yeah, man.
Bruce, as he made that analogy, on Sunday and the program, I made reference to the example of what's happening in Tobago. It's like you're married for 21 years. And in the last 4 years, things are a little rough, the relationship and whatnot and stuff. But rather than talk it out, rather than seek counseling, rather than, try to sort out the business, you say, look, I want divorce. I fed up. I'm done. Right? But if you tell the man or tell the woman what the issues are and whatnot to see how you all could sort it out, or you just mention anything in past, you're throwing shade and whatnot, then it wouldn't fix. So, yeah, you will throw away 21 years of marriage just so. And then what? Because the man, two houses down the road, whispering sweet nothings in your ears. Then your girl, that man ain't no way you have now, girl. Gosh, girl, I go treat you good. And everybody tell the girl, that man ain't no good. He's a womanizer. You, if you go down there, your bunks ahead, don't do that. But you need telling me all kind of nice things. Oh God, watch now, if you was my woman, I treat you top of the line. And you want to hear nothing your husband had to say. You only thinking divorce because you want to go so. And you get divorced and then you go so now. And after about 2-3 months, you hear he want to hear with this one, that one, and the next one, right? Treating you bad, you have no time for you. And then what? You said you're remembering what you had when you're in good house. You know the rest.
Of course. Caller, good morning.
Gentlemen, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. My financial guru, good morning. And the Serenian good house, bad house is calling. Thank you. I tend to miss your program on a Sunday because I'm doing a little something for a friend of mine. But
yes,
this lady this morning, I commend you on that interview. But you know, I heard the opposition leader last night said to us, she wrote to some parliamentary people somewhere and read out a letter that they sent back to her, stating all the things and ills and, how they call it, our democracy is in trouble. But you know, she didn't read to us the letter that she wrote to them, what that said, that they went to would write back this damning letter. Citizens listening, in order for somebody to write back a damning letter on the administration, that means the person who wrote the letter to get a reply, their information was to be skewed.
Yes.
Right, but she ain't reading hers. She reading what was replied. In order to get this reply, you have to send something damning. Trindigonians, all you wake up, you know. I just saw my boy, I don't know if my Bataria man, I don't know if, anyhow, let me leave it. My boy from Bataria, and the lady was supposed to get married in a protest. And the police stopped them and tell them, hey, they can't have this protest. And Mr. Man get on his microphone and telling the police to have a peaceful march. And the police lady was quite in line to tell them, hey, we don't want to hear that no peaceful march and thing. We said to you to disperse Trinbagonians. And here they bought no property tax. Wasn't Larry Hawaii telling us that they are going to pay the property tax if they win the election? Not the same people had intention of paying their property tax under the UNC administration, and we had more money then. There was no pandemic then. People, will you wake up, please? Black people, Trinbagonians, check yourself, please. Gentlemen, enjoy it.
Yeah, man. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Hey,
morning, Dominic.
Morning, Mano.
Yeah. But let me tell I want to tell the Begonian something. No, I'm not hearing no point, but I'm talking. I know some place might be in it. Right. So I want to tell the Begonian something. Just forget about anybody who coming to interfere with your business, who have no interest in you, but have interest in your country and your land and things. Have no. You have a fellow who run a television station. Don't allow him to, if he's sharing money, only take it. Take it. All who come and Prado and all that things, wherever they're sharing, or you take it and kick them out. Nobody lives there. Nobody lives there. You know nothing about Tobago. You're jumping in the dance and you're dancing left to right foot and left to right foot and thing. It is so. Tobagonians, all you cut all your cards straight if all you want that proper Tobago within the next 10, 20, 30 and for the rest. These people have no interest in Tobago, you know. All they want is Tobago to get independence and so they go control certain things. Anyhow, Bruce, and all you again at this sort of thing. So I'll talk to all you tomorrow.
All right, man. Yeah, man. So, guys, you can call us up 342-00814665391. Those are the numbers to call to get in with us on the inside. Caller, good morning.
Yes, good morning to my brother Bruce.
Morning.
Good morning to my brother Dominic.
Hey, Andrew, morning.
Yes, I listen very attentively and I have a message for Tobagonians. You have a building to build. A man carry on showed the work that he has done. And next man did not carry because he have no recommendation. He did no work nowhere. That people will see it and know that he could afford to do the job. And who will you give that contract to? Because they hate the man who working very good. You just have a hatred for him. Will you give it to the man who show you no recommendation? And after they put the material, they put the money in his hand. And after the building crash, the building built all how. What will you do now? We have to spend money to carry him to court. understand? Come on the street and fight him. All be careful. Be careful, men being gifts. A prophet, a prophet has to know the word of God. The word of God. And here in the last night I was in, a man called himself a pastor on the TV, and he's telling me to Begonian to rally around Rotten Duke. That he said he's a man of God. The Bible called them false prophets. It is written there, many are called in my name, and they will deceive you. The Bible says that man on the pulpit with Rotten Duke, he is deceiving the people. You can't say a man has so much allegation against his name, and you will tell the people to rally around that man. Righteousness is what exalts the nation, but sin is a reproach to anybody, any people. Let them follow that so-called pastor and vote for what's due, and they will see the ending up of Tubigonian. They're too comfortable now. Father House making them sign, Jupa making them sign. Go across in the Jupa. Then a doctor already do. Tubigonian never had boat. They never used to rent boat. The man give you a boat, he give you a fire station, give police station. What do they want? What do they want? God never make the world in one day. You cannot get everything in one day. And big old people here saying they want to change, you know. What change you want? What change you want? Say the change. Let them tell you what change they're bringing for you. They use the word change. And that's how they get tired. Change, I don't get tired with Kamla too. When they change from Manning, and Manning was working so very good. Very, very good. When Manning dead and gone now, everybody was working good. Only be careful, I have plenty of family in Tobago. Have a blessed morning.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
I'm calling there from Tobago.
Welcome.
I really call you that said that Miss Davis and Celestine talking cool, calm, and like she collective. So that is Delilah. We have been with her for 21 years, and we know what she gives. She just want to get into that power, get back into that power. See, this is Tobago, man, over the years. So we're going different, we're going to the change.
Okay, caller. Caller, good morning.
Good morning to everybody.
Morning.
Let's be frank and let's be real. These people and them in the UNC, all they're concerned about in Tobago is land. So they're using the slow masses to get what they want. These people are concerned about land. Once they divide Tobago from Trinidad, they could use their access to go across there and do their business. That being open eyes and see what's taking place. It's land that people are concerned about. They're concerned about economical power and business. They don't care about country. Them using these people and then, all right. They tried in Trinidad in 2010 because of one man named Jack Austin Warner. And Jack Warner put these people there, no? Because they use he and take all the money. And then after when the money finish, they spit him out like a plum. These people don't really care about us, and they will keep on fighting for whatever they want. They don't care about the black man. All them concerned about is power and money. If I find out wrong, or they tell me, you know. But if people are concerned about this land, it's land they want. These people know Tobago is a gold mine, is a paradise, is a heaven. So we don't want it. We don't want it. We rather throw it away because I hate. And the man who the Prime Minister trying to be is a Tobagonian. No one is telling me. These people are blind, so they see what's taking place. Tobago people have to wake up and fight for your own. Tobago people have to open their eyes. These people concerned about is land and power. Tobago people wake up. These people don't like you. Good morning.
Thank you, caller. So we have time for probably just a few more calls. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bruce Wayne. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, my brother. How you doing?
I dey humble and quiet listening to you.
Nice.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Dominic.
And to you too, sir.
I hear you bringing back about 4 ham boys.
What's in that room in the suitcase?
You laugh at me?
What's in that room in the suitcase?
Nice. And Mr. Bruce.
Oi.
You know, Dominic singing more clear like if in the studio with you there. How you outside there? Yeah. When you home here, after a second or 2 seconds, then you just hear him playing right now.
Nice.
So Dominic, boy, enjoy the best. Take care of yourself until we see you and see you again. Next week, brother?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And let me say good morning to Miss Stacy Davison for such a program this morning. Thank you, Dominic. Because we don't want nobody with no running about the street again with money on back. Yeah, so we want good leaders to lead we where we want to go. So thanks again, Miss Stacy. Thanks, Dominic. Thanks, Bruce. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Mr. Auntie Late. So all the take care, all the blessings, and we will hear soon again. Bless.
Yes, my brother. Bless up.
Thanks again, man.
Caller, good morning.
Yes, brother Bruce and brother Dominic. I don't come back in. After that fella talk there just now, we going different. That come like when they were to crucify Christ. They say, who to crucify? Christ or Barabbas? Everybody say, give us Barabbas and crucify Christ. That is what he is saying. And what he says, when he says, we are going different, who we talking about? He's speaking for himself. He can't talk for the whole of Tobago. So these are the old people who get everything under PNM. Everything. Ask me what UNC give him. Ask him what CDP. And my interpretation of CDP, the People's Danger Party. Danger. Put them in power. Although let us see it come to pass. And he can't talk for everybody there. We going different. CNM the foundation party for this country, Trinidad and Tobago, and nothing could change that. It is recorded there. It is history. They can write out that. Wasn't you could come with them on clean cells and say them could have undone that? They can't do it. CNM is the foundation, school, everything, road, everything. When you were using latrine and things, they bring lockjack and start to put in sewer and all of that. You know about that? Have a blessed morning, eh?
Caller, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, Bruce. Morning, Dominic.
Morning.
Bruce, I want that gentleman to call about the UNC and the land in Tobago. I could tell you that is a fact. Because where I'm living, very close to the waterfront, I can tell you don't talk about when the weekends come. They're coming in their Prados and the big rental and thing, and they're only driving and scoping lands. That is all. That is all they're doing. They're just scoping lands. But they have it very hard because they can have no free land around that area. Eh? So let them come to try to grab anything here. And that gentleman who's talking about we going different. Yes, he's talking about we. That means he and his household. Let them go different. He can't be talking for Tobagonians. Thanks to Tracy. Tracy, you're late out on the table this morning. And who ain't hear that? Well, something wrong. Because I think Tobago people that stupid. Right? I hope they vote the proper way and the correct way to bring stabilization to Tobago and the continued work under the PNM. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, my dear. So, Dominic, at this time, we're going to close off because this segment is about to begin.
Okay.
All right. So, guys, we have...
Well, I'm heading out to IHOP for breakfast, and then it's a day of shopping. I'm going to Dolphin Mall, I'm going to Sawgrass Mall, Coral Square Mall. I'm going to have me a time.
Don't feel like I'm going to message you, you know. You don't feel like... This time I catch you, you know. Don't feel like I'm going to message you. Guys, we go into our segment here. I'm just going to let you know that the daily word for today is anticipation. So I am going to anticipate that Dominic is going to receive my WhatsApp message after work. Yeah, I go nonsense. Yeah. Something had to happen, man. Yeah. So guys, we go into a segment here, and this segment is going to take us with probably about a minute or two again before the ads. So at this time, we say, as we say, Dominic, ciao. And we talk to you guys again tomorrow and
Thursday.
on Thursday. Yes, Thursday, please God.
Yes.
All right, so guys, we out. Dominic?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go shopping, bro. I'm going to message you in a bit.
Yeah, man. All righty.
Yeah, well, I come to teach all about Paramount South. Let me explain it. Well, Christmas morning, I calling my friends. Say, bring your instrument, and yes, they gather all of them. We making a plan. Who we hitting first, and what song we singing.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to our annual general meeting of Eastern Credit Union for the year 2021. Let me begin by recognizing the representatives of the Office of the Commissioner for Cooperative Development, our executive management and staff, representatives of the Cooperative Credit Union League of Trinidad and Tobago, representatives of the Association of Corporate Credit Union Presidents of Trinidad and Tobago, representatives of the Central Finance Facility, presidents and directors of representative credit unions here today, representatives of Kuna Caribbean Limited, specially invited guests, members, friends, and well-wishers. Firstly, I wish to report that our credit union's auditors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, has declared Eastern Credit Union's accounts to be unqualified. Part of the reason for such good news is that the accounting approaches that Eastern Credit Union should be using are actually being used. The AGM of 2020, which commenced on December 5th, 2020, was reconvened and concluded on March 27, 2021. The AGM of 2020 resulted in the elections of new members to the Board of Directors, a new chairman, and executive. The period for the last AGM to date is just over 7 months. However, we got to the task at hand right away. There were several things that we had to address virtually instantaneously, and they were, namely, COVID-19, our response to it, with the primary goal of assisting our members and keeping branches open to ensure uninterrupted services to our membership. Secondly, ECU's debit card, the need to improve our service to our membership. Codification. There was a need to codify the rules of the organization. The need to apply total quality management, TQM. Delinquency. Our delinquency concerns and the application of TQM to assist in driving it downwards. The relationship between ECU and EPL. The creation of a past president's library and museum. The need to play our part in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Let me begin with the first one, COVID-19. The impact of COVID-19 pandemic on all of us, and in particular on some of our members, was clearly more than what was imaginable. The economic shocks caused by the pandemic resulted in dislocation of jobs, and negative financial gaps for our members. As a responsible organization, we had to play our part to reverse this unfortunate situation. Therefore, we implemented measures which were designed to attempt to close the financial gaps and reposition our members in a place of financial certainty. This was done through giving 2 moratoriums to our members, which left them for a period of 6 months with more income to navigate their way through this negative reality imposed upon them by COVID-19. The next step was to ensure that the branches were accessible at all times for our members throughout the COVID-19 period. This too was done and continues to be done through effective scenario planning. Today, our members continue to have full access to Eastern Credit Union branches, ECU's debit card. As you recall, in 2019, ECU told the membership to look out for the new debit chip card. And now we are pleased to announce that we are set to roll this out to the membership in the first quarter of 2022. ECU's new debit card will give our members upgraded security, features such as chip and PIN security, increased integration and access for our members to the local payment network, and greater convenience for membership. The need for codification. Our credit union has no shortage of laws, rules, policies, and terms of references. However, while that must be viewed as a commendable thing to maintain potentially high-quality governance and structured control, there was a need to bring all of those governing tools into a codified document. The effect of codification is to increase efficiency in decision-making and enhancing the quality of decisions to improve the internal workflow of the organization and increase its ability to respond more quickly to movements or shift in the external environment. Today, I am pleased to inform our members that such a codified document now exists. The need for TQM. Total Quality Management is a tool that has been implemented in most successful organizations and continues to be incorporated into many organizations today. TQM produces many benefits to organizations, such as to strengthen their competitive position and the elimination of defects and waste. This tool can be very useful to our credit union, and as such, we have begun to implement it in many ways within the organization. In fact, the acting CEO, Mrs. Joseph, said that it is for the first time that the board and management are on the same page as it relates to doing the right things the right way through TQM. TQM has been used to reduce delinquency and produce the codified document. This management tool will continue to be used to assist in accomplishing higher productivity and higher profitability for our credit union and by extension, our membership. Delinquency. Delinquency is viewed as a major diametrically opposing factor to the effectuation of profits, or in our case, to surpluses. In just about all credit unions and other forms of financial institutions, the COVID-19 pandemic led to an increase in delinquency and reduction in revenue. This naturally resulted in the outcome of impacting profitability negatively. Our credit union was not spared of this. The COVID-19 pandemic contributed to moving our delinquency percentage from the teens to just under 30%. This executive felt that this was unacceptable, and together with management and applying TQM tools, we were able to craft an approach that was comfortable to our members, while at the same time, it drove the delinquency percentage from almost 30% to approximately 19%. I wish to assure our members that by December 31st this year, the percentage will move virtually to a single-digit percentage. The relationship between ECU and EPL. In order for ECU to continue to grow and expand, it requires a good working relationship with EPL. And equally, for EPL to grow, it requires such a relationship with ECU. When this executive came in April of this year, we found that there was a relationship between the two organizations that was reasonably good, but which we felt needed to become a lot better. Good working relationships tend to produce more confidence in sharing opinions between leaders, and which can result in the outcomes of innovative ideas that can contribute to propelling the organization further forward. A higher level of working relationship can be transformed into effective teamwork or high-quality circles that foster positive energy and high growth morale, which potentially can be the foundation for productivity to soar. Today, we are pleased to inform our members that through the work of this executive, that the relationship between ECU and the EPL has shifted from reasonably good to excellent. Now, both organizations are heading in the same direction. We now look forward with expectations to see the fruits in the form of increasing productivity in the not too distant future. Past Presidents, Library and Museum. The way we manage the history of our organization can result in that history being utilized as part of the organization's resource for now and in the future. Our founders and past presidents' history of Eastern Credit Union must be integrated as part of the organizational's institutional memory that flows into the existing management process of the organization in order to make sure that their history is accurately captured and integrated into our existing management processes. This executive has decided to establish a library with a museum dimension to it. We have already created a past president's committee led by Mr. Thomas Henry to oversee and lead the creation of this most meaningful project. The committee also includes Mr. Gary Cross and Mr. Reynald Cooper. Today, we are pleased to report to our members that a location for the library with a museum component has been identified and agreed upon. The United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. One of the ways in which an organization can signal its value to its staff and members is through its involvement with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. When an organization participates in the Sustainable Development Goals, it communicates to the external environment the positive, integrative, cultural perspective that it applies internally to its staff and members. In addition, it demonstrates its motives to playing its part in sustainable development, not only for Trinidad and Tobago, but for the rest of the world. In this regard, we have created another committee comprised of past presidents, namely Ms. Bradford, who will chair and lead this committee. The committee also includes Mr. Joseph and Mr. Nigel Matthews. Eastern Credit Union leads the way, and in this regard, it must also lead in such a way. Finally, the surplus for the year 2020 has been impacted negatively because of several factors. We have attributed the decrease majorly to the COVID-19 pandemic. The net resulting effect of that was the surplus had to be reduced by $4 million. Therefore, the percentage dividends we would have preferred to pay out this year could no longer be paid out. However, I wish to reassure all of our members that based on the work that we have already done, we can say with confidence at this time that our credit union will pay out a dividend that is closer to 3% next year. Let me further reassure our members that ECU continues to grow from strength to strength. The management tools and approaches that we have already set in motion after only 6 months as the executive would make ECU even more robustly stable as it moves forward to address and overcome all the many challenges that exist within this ambiguous external environment. Let me thank everyone for attending this AGM today. Let me wish everyone all the best during the AGM and beyond. Let us continue with our strengths through resilience. Let us continue the process of reimagining our future together. Let me thank everyone for attending this AGM today. Let me wish everyone all the best during the AGM and beyond. Let us continue with our strength through resilience. Let us continue the process of reimagining our future together. Thank you all and enjoy the rest of the day. Good day.
The only DJ that brings the music when others bring noise. DJ Bruce Wayne.
Hey! ERX. Bonga S again. It's parang time. Jamie, don't play. Organize yourself. Let me go. Christmas on the junction. We hitting my brethren a parang. But when we reach when he wife cooking, and there's a funny smell we getting. But we drinking and we liming. We paranging and we dancing. We all talking and skylarking. When he wife, when she come out and say now it's time for dining. We ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. We ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. What's smelling so? I don't know. Eating nothing that's smelling so. We ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. What's smelling so? I don't know. When I jump up, say like he have bad luck because he gets hiccup and the thing it won't stop. I tell him don't get frightened, boy just don't think nothing. When we reach by the next neighbor, well we will eat something. We eating nothing that's
My children very famous. I sure you know my children. I sure. Thank you, Fernandez. Thank you, Fernandez. For naming me children. For naming me children. Thank you, Angostura. You make me a proud father. Say it harder. Thank you, Fernandez. Thank you, Fernandez. For naming me children. For naming me children. Thank you, Angostura. You make me a proud father. Yes, sir.
possession at the EBC of Watson Duke. I don't know any other political party has that. I don't know any other political party where the party is owned by a member. And all of them who used to run and talking about they're going to fix it, and Tobago. They know that they are barnacles and the carapace of Watson Duke. Because if he doesn't want them, they're gone. They have no constitutional strength and structure in the organization. And telling you that you must put Tobago's business into that.
Take no chance. Protect your future. On December 6th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management